The 2021 NHL Entry Draft is getting really hyped up, especially after the lottery. We have ourselves a whole bunch of teams that know where they're picking, and thus we have a whole bunch of fans that really are trying to do some research on the guys that their teams might be able to get. But you know what just occurred to me? The fact that it's already June 4th, and we've only made 4 Why I Want videos so far. 3 Michigan guys, plus William Eklund. There's still another Michigan guy to go, and we're in a position where the draft is in about a month and a half-ish, and we only have 4 videos up for the prospects. Oh boy, we need to start making more of these. So we're going to go on a little tear over the next few weeks talking about prospects because I don't really just want to do the top guys. I want to do the top guys plus some middle pick guys, some mid-round guys as well. I really want to expand on the prospects this year as an avenue for content creation on this channel. Although I will say, I'm not the best scout out there. Absolutely not. There are so many other talented individuals who publish content and who make reports for players and who do all the tracking, do all the data and the analytics. Those guys, absolutely incredible. But I'm just a guy here having a conversation about a prospect, and today we're talking about probably the guy who has been in the weirdest kind of realm the past few weeks, because this player started off the 2021 season nowhere near as high up on the rankings as he is today. Let's go over the best NHL draft-eligible prospect on the Team Canada squad at the U18s. And I guess saying draft-eligible is kind of misleading because the best player on that team was Connor Bedard, the second best was Shane Wright. Both those guys aren't actually draft-eligible until 2022 and 2023. Thank you to those, by the way, who commented Colossus in the last Why I Want video. Stick around to the end for this one if you want a chance to be featured next time we do one of these videos. But today we're talking about Mason McTavish. He's a 6'2", 207-pound centerman who was born in Zurich in Switzerland. Even though he's a Canadian, the reason he was born in Switzerland is because his father was actually playing pro hockey in Switzerland, therefore his child was born in Switzerland. He played last year with the Peterborough Petes in the OHL, putting up 42 points in 57 games. However, he didn't have the same luck in the OHL this year because the OHL just simply didn't come up. As a result, he ended up going back to Switzerland and playing a year with the EHC Olten over there. And my goodness, the way this guy was able to go out there for 2021 was absolutely incredible. So much so that he's been climbing up the ranks everywhere. NHL Central Scouting listed him as their second best North American skater behind Owen Power, so they have him ahead of Hughes, ahead of Beniers, ahead of all these guys. And the reason for that is his play in Switzerland, plus what he was able to do at the U18s this season. Playing for EHC Olten, he put himself up 11 points in 13 games played, and 7 points in 4 games in the postseason. He got better as the year went on. He started out the year as just another OHL loan player to Europe, but playing throughout the Swiss leagues and playing for Team Canada at the U18s, he built his confidence up, and his overall game started to flourish too. You can remember from the U18s, he had 11 points in 7 games played, third on his team in points behind Bedard and Wright, but those two guys are franchise, borderline generational players. But for McTavish, he was out here as a very capable, solid two-way center with some bite, who was able to go out there and just play a shutdown role and contribute offensively when he needed to. He can play an overall gritty game if that's what they need him to do. He reads play extraordinarily well, and he can play in all roles. On the power play, on the penalty kill, he could be a very good shutdown center if you need him to be, while also contributing offense with his great shot. This just screams the kind of guy that fans and teammates are going to just love seeing out there on the ice. Cam Robinson, the director of film scouting at Elite Prospects, has McTavish as his second best player in the draft. He says this: a pro-style pivot who boasts a heavy and accurate release. A play creation expert who has nifty hands and can manipulate small spaces. He has the innate ability to feel a play. Soft saucers, snap passes, the odd hook dish. The skating has looked much cleaner since his stint in Switzerland. Smart and defensively responsible. There is a ton of upside here. Because of all the skills that McTavish has displayed, he's got a consolidated ranking of 14th overall. Elite Prospects has him ranked 5th. Future Considerations at 15th. The Neutral Zone at 21. Okay, that's really far down. 16th by McKeen's, 9th by Sportsnet, 17th by Recruit Scouting, 29th by Dauber Prospects. Okay, they have him really far down. Draft Prospects Hockey has him at 14th, Smart Hockey has him even lower at 32nd overall, 11th by TSN and Bob McKenzie, and 17th by the Puck Authority. So, even though Elite Prospects themselves has him ranked as number 5, even though NHL Central Scouting has him as their second best North American skater, even though TSN and Bob McKenzie have him at 11, his consolidated ranking is around that 14-ish mark because some other scouting outlets have him much, much lower. And why is that? Why is there such a dichotomy between the different scouting services and where they decide to rank him? Well, it's because this year's a crapshoot more than anything, and because you could debate how good Mason McTavish could really project to the NHL level. Sure, people see the way he reads the game, people see the two-way ability, the bite, and the overall snarl that he's able to play with. But they ask the question, how well does that project to the next level, and how good could he be if everything develops properly? If you're going to go out there and compare centers, Matty Beniers is ranked by most people as the top center in the draft. Well, at least aside from NHL Central Scouting. And Matty Beniers is in that position where we don't really know specifically if he could be a prime number 1 NHL quality center. At best, I think Beniers could be that. It's just difficult to project if he's got that in him. What's more likely with Matty Beniers is a very solid second-line center, if not a vague, fringe number 1 center on a bad team. With McTavish, it's a little bit lower than that. You don't know if this guy has the potential to be a number 1 center at the NHL level, but at the very least, he could be a very, very solid third-line center, if not a capable second. Some will be a lot higher on his upside, as everyone is with every prospect that exists in the world, pretty much. But at his core, Mason McTavish could be a very solid middle 6 forward at the NHL level who's got all the talent to play on the power play, on the penalty kill, and who can project to being a good goal scorer. Because he's got this package of skill, shooting ability, awareness, and the heart and soul to play a really solid game, it makes Mason McTavish a kind of player that I think any team, if he's available in the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 range, would really value, especially those with boating and very well-developed locker rooms. You have a team like the Ottawa Senators, for example, that have a whole bunch of young guys, and they really do strive on playing that honorable, physical two-way game. You got Brady Tkachuk, you've got Shane Pinto playing penalty kill as a rookie, and Mason McTavish, to me, feels like he could fit very well with that kind of team. If it's the Vancouver Canucks going out there and getting him 9th overall, having a number 1 center in Pettersson, a number 2 center in Horvat, and a number 3 center in McTavish down the line long term, that could be a very good 3-headed monster, because you have yourselves essentially what is a 1A, maybe very strong 2-way center in Horvat who could be a 1B, but if you play him as the two-way, I think it's a lot more manageable. And then you have McTavish, who very well could be the same quality of a second-line center too, playing on your third line. Hey, this is all we wanted out of Tyler Madden, isn't it? Oh man, don't remind me about Tyler Madden, me. But either way, whether McTavish goes in the top 10 or he goes a little bit later like some of these other scouting outlets have, which is highly doubtful by the way, because TSN and Bob McKenzie have him a little bit higher, and plus the U18s, we know how World Juniors and international tournaments really can boost a prospect's draft stock. He's a player that's got all the tools to succeed at the NHL level. Just give him some time, give him some development, and really let him work on what it is that makes him great. Steve Korianis of the Draft Analyst really summarizes it nicely here. Violence and aggression are just 2 of several commonplaces in your typical Mason McTavish shift. But he's also a highly skilled playmaker and shooter who causes all sorts of matchup problems for defenses. So, let me know in the comments, what do you think about Mason McTavish? Do you want your team to draft this guy? What team is it that you cheer for? And if you take McTavish wherever your pick is lying, would you be happy with that kind of pick? Obviously, the majority of these answers are going to be, oh, it depends on who else is available, but Again, though, McTavish is just a guy that I think any NHL team could see value in, and I don't think you could have too many good, capable two-way penalty-killing centers who have goal-scoring ability and a nasty nature to play against. So thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. If you made it to the end, then comment down in the comments section below, Colton Parayko. And the reason I'm saying that is because our keyword last time was Colossus, and Colossus is coincidentally the label that EA NHL Hockey Ultimate Team labeled for Colton Parayko in their Halloween special cards. So Colton Parayko is our comment section keyword for the next Why I Want video. I'm not sure who we're going to cover next, but you know what? I think I do have a vague idea of who I want to talk about. So stick around for more prospect videos. Comment in the comments what you thought about this discussion over here. I hope you enjoyed. This was Josh Rolls 99, and bye.